Black people boycotting Asian businesses was not on my bingo card.
This weird black community on TikTok that likes to boycott everything for the tiniest thing, they have absolutely gone on steroids, which is fine. I don't care. They could do whatever they want. I'm not here to stop them, especially since they don't want to really listen to reason. It seems nowadays that they rather care about clicks and the whole I own you thing more than having a conversation or the truth or work together and be better as a group and community.
If you're going to group all of the Asians together, we cannot have a productive conversation because you're just as racist as Rick Chow. If you can't even take the time to understand that there is a lot of racial tension between Southeast Asians and East Asians, then we can never have a productive conversation. If you're just going to try and cancel everyone out, boycott everybody, then...
I'm so sorry. Like, right now, obviously, like, it's a big talk about this murder this Asian man did. He killed a 14-year-old boy, which is horrible. But in response to that, a lot of people are boycotting Asian businesses. And I kind of think that's a little crazy because it's one man's action affecting the whole Asian community. That's low-key a generalization. Also, a lot of these people are boycotting, like, nail businesses and some. Those people are Vietnamese, not even Chinese, okay? A lot of those people are lower income. They're not the model minority. They're from a third world country. And I'm saying that because I know someone who is literally kind of being affected by this because their family owns a nail tech business. And I just think it's a little crazy that it's so, I guess, fine to say this normalization and be like, boycott all Asian people because of this one Asian person.
Black people have beat the fuck out of Asian people. Black people have beat the fuck out of Hispanic vendors, people who sell flowers. They rob people all the time, but we're not going to boycott their businesses, right? So why let one Asian person let you guys decide to boycott an entire race's business?
Well, black collective revenge is not going to wake anyone up. It's 1991 in Brooklyn, and a Jewish driver accidentally hits and kills a black child named Gavin Cato. A private Jewish ambulance comes and takes the driver away before it takes away Gavin Cato, who is still on the ground. You know this is America because the ambulance is privatized. This is followed by 3 days of riots targeting Orthodox Jewish businesses and residents in Crown Heights. At Gavin Cato's funeral, Al Sharpton speaks, and he calls the Jewish people in the community diamond merchants, which is pretty racist. So he's blaming this on the entire community for the actions of one man. So did the Jewish community wake up and declare their solidarity with the black community? So if you look at most of history, collective action against a group will usually just create more collective action against that group. And it just repeats over and over. It is not productive at all.
We should all stop supporting Asian-owned businesses, is what I would say if I was fucking stupid.
Have we ever seen an Asian in the soul food spot en masse? Have we ever seen Asians supporting Black American businesses en masse? Let me know. Maybe I'm going crazy.
As much as my heart goes out to the Rick Chow case, you can't blame a whole community for one isolated incident.
Your heart doesn't really go out to what happened because you didn't make a video about what happened. You're making a video about the response to what happened, right? So which means you don't really care about what happened, but going after the response instead of the action.
And for all those that say that they're going to stop supporting Asian businesses, the clothes on your back probably came from China.
Seeing the clothes on our back come from China actually proves our point to let you know that we're not a hateful people. We always supported the Asian community, and if we stop doing it, that's going to be economic destruction for you. So I don't know if that was supposed to be aha, got you moment, because that's not the flex you thought it was.
And I do admit a lot of Asian people are racist. However, not everyone that's Asian is racist.
So you're admitting that a lot of Asian people are racist. So what are we talking about? Now, I'm not saying all, because I have a few that I'm cool with, but what are we talking about?
I think we should be sabotaging Asian-owned businesses, especially since Asian Heritage Month just passed.
How us doing our own group economic is sabotaging Asian businesses? That's what you guys are doing. You guys are doing your own group economics. You have your Chinatown. When you came into our communities, separated and made your own enclave and communities. Is that sabotaging the Black American community? No, it's not. So we're not sabotaging. We're doing our own group economics. What's the issue?
Also, specifically, not supporting Asian businesses is also considered racist.
So if not supporting Asian business considered racist, I haven't seen Asians in mass support Black American business. So what that means? So tell me, what does that mean? In the last 65 years, I haven't seen Black Americans working in Asian businesses. I haven't seen us Asians massive support in Black American business, and I definitely didn't see them in no damn soul food spots. So are you saying that they're racist? It sounds like you're telling on yourself. See, the problem is, again, I call it social unity, economic warfare. Socially, it's all love. You might be able to hang out, have fun, go to the bar, whatever. But economically and politically, it's been warfare for the last 65 years, and we're the last to catch up. See, the problem is, a lot of y'all are in our communities, right? Extracting out $1.9 to $2.6 trillion. So the moment we say, hold on, we're going to start doing our own group economics, that's economic devastation and destruction for you, and y'all know it. Y'all know it. This is why such a panic. This is why it's being called racism, because all we're saying is that fine, we're going to do what y'all been doing for the last 55 years and doing group economics and keeping the same energy y'all been keeping, right? So the moment we keep the same energy, oh God, you guys are racist. Hold on. Why can't we have self-love? Why can't we do group economics? Why can't we do, y'all been boycotted up for the last 65 years. Y'all boycotted us for the last 65 years. So the moment we boycott back is a problem? That's interesting.
Let me paint you a picture. A community decides enough is enough. They pool their dollars, they redirect their spending, and almost immediately, almost overnight, the people who say they didn't need those dollars start making videos, long videos, passionate videos about how wrong and misguided and racist it is to spend your own money somewhere else. And I need you to sit with that for a second, because that reaction, that panic, tells you everything you need to know about who actually holds power in this situation. Stay with me, because this goes deeper than a boycott. This is about economics, history, and what happens when a community finally decides to bet on itself. By now, if you've been anywhere near TikTok, you know what's been happening. The Black community, or at least a very vocal and very motivated part of it, has decided to redirect its spending away from certain businesses and toward Black-owned alternatives, and the internet predictably exploded. But here's what I find fascinating. The people who are most upset aren't the ones losing money, or at least they keep telling us they aren't. So today, we're going to break down exactly what's happening, why the response to this boycott revealed more than the boycott itself, and what the historical record actually says about whether collective economic action works. Let's get into it. But before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. You'll find all their handles in my description box. But for now, let me play you a few more clips, and then I'll be back with my commentary.
I love when the Black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do.
The question I have is, if you don't need Black dollars, why do you care if the Black community boycotts? Why? If we have nasty attitudes and you don't want your women giving us pedicures and manicures and all that other shit, then why do you care if the Black community decides not to go and spend their Black dollars in your businesses? I know why. Because the Black American community have social power. And when Black Americans boycott something, the people that support the Black Americans will boycott as well, including your beloved white people. And I just want to make this perfectly clear. The reason why the banks give non-Black immigrants loans, even though they barely speak English, is because they don't mind you guys setting shop in Black neighborhoods, because they don't want the Black Americans to thrive. That's why they deny loans to Black Americans whose family been here for generations. It's not because you're special. It's because they use y'all as a tool of white supremacy. And most of the things that he mentioned are products that come from China. It has nothing to do with the Asian businesses that treat Black people like crap, or even unalive their children. Or how about have their children go use the bathroom outside while they take pictures and show it to everybody? Black Americans are tired of people from other countries coming here and thinking that they can treat Black people the same way that these colonizers have been treating all of us for the last 400 or 500 years. And because of the Asian community, that's why affirmative action was repealed. And look, because of what y'all did, even Asians are having a problem getting into colleges. Because at the end of the day, white supremacy doesn't care how light your skin is. As long as you're not white, they will treat you like crap. And again, if y'all don't care about the Black dollar, if y'all don't care to change your attitudes towards the Black communities, if y'all don't give a fuck about the people that come into your stores and buy your product to make you and your family money, you don't care, then don't care about the boycott. Have your beloved racist white people drive all the way to the hood to go spend their racist white dollars in your stores. I'd love to see that shit.
To the Asian man that posted that Black folks were so dependent on laundromats, corner stores, whatever else he said, blah, 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 baby, because I was barely listening. He was essentially saying that we're so dependent on them that we don't have any other choice. I don't really know what rock he's been under, but baby, we've always had a choice. Apparently he was under the impression that they can just play in our face and we keep supporting them. He don't know what type of time we on these days. Baby, this ain't the time for that. Apparently he's unaware. He needs to go back and look at the history books, because one thing black folks love is a double dog dare you type movement. Child, because over the past few weeks, I've watched black folks do what we do best, baby. Call in the reinforcements. Yeah, as my grandma would say, I'll make a lie out of you. Over the past week or so, I've seen folks post black nail salons, black beauty supply stores, black purse brands, black bakeries, black bakeries, black restaurants, black childcare centers. The list goes on and on, okay? Black farms. We've been doing a damn thing. Baby, y'all been dropping names, email addresses, and tagging businesses all over social media. And baby, I absolutely love this for us, because that's how movements grow. Not just talking about it, being about it. So we ain't just talking about the problem. Baby, we're being the solution. If you know a black-owned beauty supply store, post it. If you know a black-owned nail salon, post it. Know a black-owned dry cleaner, grocery store, bookstore, restaurant, mechanic, pharmacy? You get the point. Baby, post it. Yeah. Let's build a directory without calling it a directory. Let's make it easy for our community to find community businesses so that nobody will ever say that we don't have options. Because baby, one thing black folks got is options. I don't know why he was confused. Because every time somebody says y'all need us, our response shouldn't just be word. It should be ownership. It should be community. It should be intentionally circulating our black dollars in our black communities with black folks who value us.
Black folks, listen up right now. Boycotts over riots, boycotts over riots, boycotts over riots. A lot of the things that are happening in the black community right now are happening because they want to rage bait us into rioting so that they can either gun us down or lock us up. They really want to lock us up so that they can get free labor off of us, you know what I'm saying, and reinstate slavery. Really, boycotting is not enough either. We need to make an emphasis on funneling the money that we would normally give to white businesses or non-black businesses and keeping that shit in-house. Because when you really think about it, there's black businesses for literally everything. There's too many hardworking, creative, and innovative black folks out there in the community with so much to offer, but nobody giving their services to. And this is not easy at all. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. We gotta be patient, we gotta be disciplined, and we gotta have respect and love for our people. You know what I'm saying? Black men, black women, and especially these babies. Too many of our babies are dying. Too many of our babies are getting lynched still to this day. There's no reason for this. We gotta band together. We gotta be protective of our own.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do.
Oh, you know what? He got a point. Go on.
Dry cleaners, the laundromats.
All right, cool. I'll raise you that, except for we've already got washers and dryers at home, and I live in a community where the laundromat is owned by a black woman that's here, so that one's not gonna really do me any good. What you got?
Give it to the liquor stores as well.
Now that one's a good one. I will say though, I've already learned how to make wine from home, and I live in the country, so we know how to make things like kombucha, and we know how to make things like moonshine and stuff like that down here. But we do not have a liquor store, and I feel like, you know what, you're right about that. Like, if I know how to make wine and they know how to make moonshine and stuff, we should probably have a store here. So let me write that down. That was a good one. That's good. Liquor store. That is a good one. Liquor store. Need that.
Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear.
Although, yes, we wear Jordans. We're the ones who popularize it. I will raise you that we are the ones who invented the sole, so you would have shoes to wear. So we can always learn how to make our own shoes, but if we start learning how to make our own shoes, and we can get patents for that, if they push it through, we can own a shoe store if we want to. Let's see here, but I mean, that's not really a necessary need though, for real, to be honest. And if I really wanted to go get some cheap ass Jordans, I mean, I could just go straight to the manufacturer itself. Yeah, but let's, I don't know. I feel like that one's like a maybe. So I'll write it down for maybe points. So yeah, let's go. Shoe store.
The Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia.
I'll raise you this. Half of those things you listed for electronics would not be a thing without it being created and made first by black people. So all those things were created and made by black people first to now allow everyone else to make things off of that. Let's start there. And then secondly, I'm pretty sure we're talking about localized businesses. We're not talking about like Asian countries. I don't know where y'all get this mindset of when we talking about y'all want to talk about everybody else. I don't understand that part. But you are right about that. But damn near everything is made and manufactured from China. Everything is made from China. But I believe the blackout that we're talking about is localized here in the United States. So yeah. But you may be right. We might have to also look at having our own engineering team. I'm pretty sure we actually do have a lot of engineers and people that know how to make electronics and know how to do wiring, stuff like that. We actually know how that. So I would say I would want to do a gather of those people, try to find a gather of those people for real to be able to make that stuff. But you have to get the resources from somewhere. So I don't think y'all are following that too. Most of the resources y'all get these things from come from Africa. So yeah, I don't know if that was very good point right there. Yeah, this is a localized blackout, not a worldwide blackout. I thought y'all was smart.
Here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are in our neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money?
Well, this part I'm confused on. So if that's the case, why are you complaining at this point about us doing the blackout on localized Asian businesses within our community? So this argument of you making a fuss now goes out the window. If you're good and you don't need our money and you don't need to be in our neighborhood, so just leave then. What's the point that you're making? This point goes out the window. I don't. What else you got from me? You were telling us about, cause that wasn't a very sound argument. I mean, cause then yeah, all you had to do was leave and that was it. If this is not a problem or issue. What's next?
A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English, and you're not embarrassed?
No, I'm not embarrassed because the most educated person in this country is a black woman with many degrees who, by the way, never got to benefit from DEI. We benefit the least from it, but we always graduate with highest honors. Most of the girls that graduate from high school, they graduate with honors and highest honors. That's how they're able to get into their schooling. Half of them can't benefit from DEI. So just to let you know, and just a reminder again, the most educated group in America is the black woman. So I'm not embarrassed by that. I think the question would be more like, as the most educated group in America, why does it seem like it's harder for y'all to get certain things? Is there a barrier? Maybe. I don't think y'all think about that. Maybe there's like a barrier, or if you are going to college, why are you not learning about this country and its history? I mean, all of it entirely. So you would know that the reason why you can actually go to college is because of black Americans here. So this is not, I don't like that this is shattering my whole belief about y'all being smart. Like, this is I don't think this is okay. Like, what else you got for me? It's supposed to be something else, you know? Like, come on, talk to me about that, because this is not sounding smart.
Your bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own.
Okay, so there we go. Start our own banks. We already got a couple of black-owned banks. We can always have more. I know where I live here, we have a black-owned bank as well. And then also there's another black-owned bank I support as well. So yeah, I will say more black-owned banks, more. But just a little history lesson, you know, because apparently y'all don't learn any type of history about this country. You only, you know, I guess just come over here and then that's it. But some more, let me put that in here, more black banks. I got that. Black banks. And you said start more black-owned businesses. We already have a couple of black-owned businesses. That's already a thing. But we can always have more. So yet more black-owned businesses. Yes, black-owned businesses. Okay. And just a little history lesson. We had plenty of black-owned businesses. We had plenty of black-owned banks. But you want to know what happened in history? When you look at the Red Summer and then you look over the many years of mass murdering and massacres of very successful black towns, they were either burnt down, turned into lakes. They went in mass unalive those people, or they dropped bombs on them, or I was told to say boom booms. They dropped those on them, or they came and also looted. So, you know, after they did everything they did to us and just completely destroyed any wealth we had, when we tried to go back and go get our money from our banks, they stole it. So I would like to raise you on when those things happen to your businesses, right? All together, right? If they ever, you know, completely mass unalive people that do your businesses, or burn down your businesses, or put your businesses under lakes, or anything like that, I think you would have more of a sound argument against us when it comes to asking, well, why haven't you gotten farther yet? You know, let me know when those things happen to you, and then we can have a more agreeable argument on that.
Okay, so first, let's talk about how we even got here, because this didn't just come out of nowhere. The thing that sparked this whole wave was a case involving an Asian business owner and the unaliving of a black teenager. I'm not going to spend the whole video on that specific case, but what I want to talk about is what happened after, because the reaction to the black community discussing a boycott, it told on a lot of people. The first argument that came flying out was, you can't blame a whole community for what one person did. That's a generalization. That's racist. And okay, I hear that. On the surface, it sounds fair. Nobody should punish an entire group for one person's action, right? But wait, is it a generalization to say that patterns exist? Is it wrong to notice that there's a long history of tension between certain business communities and the black neighborhoods they operate in? Is it racist to decide, as a community, that you want to spend your money with people who treat you right and reinvest back into your neighborhood? Because if that's racism, then every ethnic group that does group economics is racist. Chinatowns, racist. Korean business networks, racist. Every immigrant community that pulls resources and looks out for their own, racist. You see how that doesn't hold up? They're applying a rule to black people that they have never, not once, applied to anyone else. And that selective enforcement, that's worth paying attention to. Now, this next part is where I really need you to stay focused, because this is where the responses got wild. Some people didn't even try the unity angle. They went straight to, black people are too dependent on our businesses to boycott us. Where are they gonna go? You need us. I need you to really sit with what it means to say that out loud to your customers, publicly, on the internet. You are literally saying you have no other options. You're stuck with us. That's not a business owner talking. That's someone who has gotten so comfortable with a captive customer base that they forgot that those customers are actual people with actual choices. And then some of those same voices turned around and said, we don't even need black dollars anyway. So wait, which one is it? Are black people so dependent that the boycott won't work? Or is black money so insignificant that it doesn't matter if they leave? Because you cannot have it both ways. You're out here saying black people are trapped and that their money is irrelevant in the same argument. That's not logic. That's panic. That's somebody realizing a revenue stream they took for granted might actually be walking out the door and not knowing how to handle it. Now, some people try to bring history into this, and honestly, I'm glad they did, because if they're doing history, we're doing all of it. One argument against the boycott was collective punishment doesn't work. It just breeds more division. And you know what? There's something to that. History does show us that punishing a whole group can harden people instead of changing them. That's real, and I'm not going to pretend it isn't. But here's the thing about history in this conversation. You have to be willing to go all the way back, not just to the past that are convenient. Let's talk about Greenwood, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street, one of the most successful black community this country has ever seen. Thriving businesses, black-owned banks, generational wealth being built in real time. And in 1921, a white mob burned it to the ground. They dropped explosives from planes. They massacred residents. They detained survivors. Insurance claims were denied. Everything gone. That's not a history lesson that's up for debate. That happened, and it wasn't just Greenwood. Black towns across America were destroyed. Black banks were denied protections that were given to everyone else. Redlining made sure black families couldn't buy homes in neighborhoods where property values were rising, which meant no equity, no inheritance, no wealth to pass down. So when someone says, why haven't black Americans built more? Why are they still depending on outside businesses in their own neighborhoods? The answer isn't a culture problem. The answer is that every single time the foundation was laid, somebody came and tore it down. And then, decades later, people point at the empty lot and ask why nothing was built there. If you want to use history, use it honestly, because the full picture of why things are the way they are, it doesn't say what some people think it says. Now, let's talk about numbers for a second, because this is where it gets concrete. Black Americans are close to 50 million people in this country. Black consumer spending is estimated somewhere between $1.9 and $2.6 trillion every year. That is not a small thing. That is not a community with no power. That is an economy. And for a very long time, the majority of that money has been flowing out of black neighborhoods and into businesses owned by people who don't live there, don't hire from there in any meaningful way, and don't reinvest back in any meaningful way. So when the community starts saying, hold on, what if we kept some of this money closer to home? The response is immediate and it is loud. And that loudness is information. Because if those dollars genuinely didn't matter, there would be silence. You don't make a long video about losing something that doesn't affect you. The louder the response, the more those dollars matter. And the more those dollars matter, the more power the community has, if it chooses to use it. And here's what was beautiful about what happened next. Instead of just pulling money away and leaving a gap, people started filling that gap in real time. Black nail salons getting posted, black beauty supply stores, a whole directory of black-owned businesses being built organically on social media by people who are just tired of being told they didn't have options. And that's not destruction, that is construction. That is what economic self-determination actually looks like when it's just getting started. Now, I want to take a step back for a second, because this boycott is happening inside a much bigger story. For a long time, there's been this kind of unspoken arrangement in a lot of urban neighborhoods. Different communities coexist, they serve each other economically, and as long as nobody pushes too hard on the underlying tensions, things mostly hold together. But that arrangement was always built on a tilt. One community providing most of the customers, another community taking most of the revenue, and everything staying that way because it was just assumed the spending community would never really organize. That assumption is being tested right now, and what the testing is revealing is this. A lot of talk about community and unity gets very quiet very fast when actual money is on the line. The people who claim they don't see race seem to see it pretty clearly when there's a revenue question involved, and I want to be real with you here. Not every part of how this conversation has played out online has been perfectly thought through. Boycotts are reactive, they're emotional, and the harder, longer work isn't just pulling money away, it's redirecting it somewhere that actually builds something lasting. Banks, businesses, supply chains, institutions that can serve the community for generations, not just for a moment. That takes patience, it takes organization, it takes being willing to support a black-owned business that's still growing, still learning, still building capacity, even when it may not be as fast or as convenient as what you're used to. That's the unglamorous part nobody puts in the TikToks, but that's the part that actually changes things long term. So here's the bottom line. The boycott is real. The panic behind the responses is real. And both of those things are telling us the same thing. Black consumer dollars have always been powerful. The question has just been whether the community was organized enough, focused enough, and motivated enough to use that power on purpose. Right now, it looks like the answer might be yes. And if you're someone operating in good faith, treating people with respect, genuinely contributing to the communities you're in, then none of this was ever about you. But if you recognize yourself in the panic, maybe sit with that for a minute and ask yourself why. Because the people who have nothing to worry about are usually not the ones making emergency videos about how a boycott is racist.
Common sense approach. Now, I know most Asian business owners are probably thinking to themselves that this situation with Black Americans banning, supporting their businesses will eventually come to an end sooner than later, and it'll be back to business as usual. But to be honest with you, I don't think so. As you can see, these ladies getting it in, putting in work. I don't think so. I think you guys are in it for the long haul when it comes to Black people supporting your businesses again. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think so. Number one, a lot of people been waiting on you to fuck up anyway. And that's just the truth. A lot of people have been waiting on you to fuck up. Which leads me to number two. You have close to 50 million Black Americans in this country. A lot of them who have been waiting on the opportunity to provide these services to their community. But you was in the way, which goes back to number one. A lot of people been waiting on you to fuck up. And last but not least, a lot of Black Americans have been talking to their children about this. And there's a lot of things you don't want to be in the eyes of your children, but you definitely don't want to be a hypocrite and to look weak in front of your children or in the eyes of your children. So for me to sit down and have these conversations with my children on why we shouldn't support these businesses, and then to go and start back supporting them, makes me a hypocrite to my child, and it also makes me look weak.
So what do you all think? Are you riding with the boycott, or do you think it's a waste of time? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video specifically tailored for you, and if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing, because it helps me grow my channel and helps YouTube recommend this video to a wider audience. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, the Joy Report out.